question, and I want to give you plenty of space to kind of answer this in the way that you have felt people responding to issues when you possibly bring up the topic of climate change to people of religious faith, Judaism and Christianity. What sort of responses do you get from people, and how do you feel that what you're doing can help people see the issue of climate change?
So there's been amazing interfaith work going on about climate change, and I'll speak specifically from the Jewish perspective as to why climate change has resonated so deeply with Jewish people as something we should take action on. And I think it, my reusable water bottle. Judaism is a religion based on action. So some faiths, some religions are really, you're a good person of that religion because of what you believe, like what your faith is, or what your inner life is like. Judaism is not about that. Judaism is about action. Like, you believe whatever you want, but what are you doing to make the world a better place? And the mandate for Jewish people, what we are supposed to do is make the world a better place. And I think the reason that climate change is it really resonates with Jewish people is it's something that really demands action on so many different levels. So there's the synagogues are being greened, and there's a whole there's this amazing food movement going on called Hazon, where with community supported agriculture. So I think that's the reason that it's become so strong. Does that answer your question?
Could I add on to that question?
Sure.
Have you met a lot of resistance from people too when you bring that up, or has it been a fairly easy thing for people to stomach?
So full disclosure, I live in Boulder, Colorado, right?
Sure.
So this is what I'll tell you. This is what's been fascinating for me. I live in Boulder, Colorado. I live in this totally green bubble, and I realize that. And I gave a book talk. I mean, I travel a lot with my book talk, and there's one talk where they were serving dinner before, and everything was on styrofoam. And the person, jokingly said, well, if you want to be green, you could use the same plate for dessert, I guess. And, here I am doing this environmental talk, and I just, there was such a disconnect. So I think that when I see people that aren't getting it, it's not from any sort of religious point of view, it's not from a religious point of view. It's from an ignorant point of view. Now, some of that might also be who caused me to speak. But I've seen more of the good stuff and less of the resistance. Other question? Yeah.
My name is John. I'm here on behalf of Andrew Cole. He couldn't make it here tonight. And I have a question that concerns a book written by Temple Grandin. She's an autistic consultant for veterinarians in her book, Animals in Translation. And her question is, do some animals have religious feelings, a sense of some higher reality, or some unseen reality they can't express? And here in this talk, I'm seeing Genesis in dominion over the earth and tending and tilling the earth. And earlier in the presentation we have the connectivity, the theme that everything is connected. So I'm wondering, is there discord between what we see in this second part of your presentation with the Genesis, and that we are separate from the animals and we are supposed to take care of these animals because we are better than the animals? Or is it that we're all connected and we are the animals, and the animals also go to the lake because of a reason, and they also go to the open space because they've been pressured in one instance or another?
Thank you. So one of the things that we talk a lot about with that particular verse in Genesis is it descriptive or is it prescriptive? Is it describing the situation or is it telling us what we should do? Because we do have dominion over the animals. I mean, that's the reality. That's the world as it is right now. We take actions and they're extinct. We take other actions and they're not extinct. Should it be like that? I don't know. Is it like that? Yes, we're the ones that right now could destroy the world if we don't get our acts together. So, that's one of the really interesting things. One of the great things about being Jewish is the way we read our Bible, which is like every single word we like argue over and debate. And there's no punctuation in our Bible, so it's been added in later. So you can like move. You could, like a period could be moved. It could be in the wrong place. So it's fascinating. And so we debate in Judaism. We debate all the time. We love to debate. We debate with ourselves. So and then that's really fun. And we can change our ideas, and we can always be learning. So is it prescriptive or descriptive? Yeah, please.
This is sort of, I haven't really phrased it out in my brain very well. Do you get much criticism for sort of paganizing or transcendentalizing ancient faiths like Christianity and Judaism? Or do you get more of support as aligning them? Pagan faiths, for example, Native American faiths were often linked to practicality, and that isn't necessarily a negative thing. So what is the response like? Is it criticism, or is it say, oh yeah, that's totally on board? So
I get a lot of hate mail, but it's not actually about that.
Okay.
The hate mail that I get is about, in my book I talk about the idea that God isn't perfect, and that some things just happen because they happen, but it's not necessarily because there's some good ending coming. And that's, people don't like that at all. And I talk about like mistakes, like
Job's.
Yeah, right? Or like the whole thing, like the Noah's Ark story, that's a great one. So God, the way the story goes, right, is that God saw there was evil in the world, so he decides to flood it. And it's going to start again, right? And man's been so bad that he's corrupted all the plants and the animals too, so they have to be drowned. So then God's going to start the world again, and then he realizes, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But, maybe we'll let man eat meat, because before that, man had to be a vegetarian. Maybe we'll let him eat meat, and then he'll be able to kill animals for food, and then he won't be quite so bad. Right? So, if God was perfect, didn't God know it wasn't going to work? So I get a lot of criticism for things like that. And I also get a lot of criticism. I don't believe that God intervenes in our lives. So I don't believe that you can pray to God. Like, my mentor, Carol Susan Roth, my literary agent, passed away 2 weeks ago. She died of brain cancer. She did not deserve to die. This woman deserved to live for many, many years. And she was the agent for the Dalai Lama. She had more spiritual people that she represented probably than anyone you could think of. So she had people of all faiths praying for her, and she died. And now I totally forget what I was trying to say. So I don't believe that we can pray and that's going to change what's going to happen. I still believe in God, but that's not my particular belief, and that is really controversial. People really don't like that. But I have to tell you that as many people as don't like that, there's a lot more that do like that. There's a lot more people that say, wow, you're a rabbi? You're a religious person? You keep the Sabbath? You make challah with your kids every Friday afternoon? And you don't believe that you can pray to God and things will happen? Wow, maybe there's room in Judaism for me. So I put up with the hate mail.